absolute disaster Reddit has turned into. I'm not somebody that spends their time scrolling through all the forums daily to find things that I disagree with, to argue with people. But today I stumbled upon a couple of things and I was like, that's curious. It seems like there's a lot of censorship going on here. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. And in this episode, we're going to talk about Star Wars Outlaws again, because apparently people are being banned from forums on subreddits for daring to question anything about the game. I mean, if you can't beat them, silence them. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article discussing how Star Wars Outlaws subreddit is apparently banning people for wrongthink. And this information comes to us from John Trent and ThatParkPlace. Great job as always. That dude is one of the hardest working people I've ever seen on the internet. Ubisoft's latest release of Star Wars Outlaws has been caught in a whirlwind of controversy lately, as reports have surfaced from ThatParkPlace about how the game's dedicated subreddit is engaging in some heavy-handed moderation. Which, to be honest, with anyone with their head screwed on tight enough going to this forum and reading through the subreddit, you would think everyone thought this was game of the year. Every single post you see is just glorifying the game, talking about how the critics are wrong and this game is just immaculate and perfect, and the responses are all backing them up saying, yeah. And it's just kind of weird, because that's not typically how a conversation would go if you weren't banning people that questioned anything. And according to John Trent from ThatParkPlace, the Star Wars Outlaws subreddit has been banning users for deleting posts critical of the game's early access phase. The phase that I spoke about in a previous video, where users who spent $40 in addition to the $70, so $110 for the right to be able to play the game 3 days early, are being banned for questioning how Ubisoft is handling the absolute cluster that it's turned into, because they have to restart their save files due to an update from progression-breaking bugs. Reddit user Ugly Coyote reached out to ThatParkPlace after experiencing firsthand the stringent moderation from the subreddit. He said that the criticisms concerning the game's graphics, performance, and other aspects had led to the ban. Any attempt to discuss these deletions or question the moderator's actions further resulted in additional sanctions, including a 7-day mute for simply criticizing the game's graphics and gameplay. Apparently, Reddit has turned into you think like the group thinks, or you are out of the group. Ugly Coyote sent the message to John Trent stating, Ugly Coyote is permanently banned from r/Star Wars Outlaws. LOL, look at the insults he wrote, and I'm disrespectful in what way? I couldn't say anything disrespectful. I only question his say if thinking and age. Since when is this disrespectful? Right now, as told before, I/we are making an investigative report about mods abusing their power to steer narratives and influence people, also about silencing critics, selectively deleting and censoring posts. You are clearly biased here. I would like to know your username if you don't mind. And a few days later, he responded again because he didn't get a reply, stating, I'm still waiting for your moderator username. You banned me, so why aren't you telling who banned me? As said, other people aren't respectful either, and worse than me. Why was I banned? Ah yes, I'm a critic. So please tell me your moderator name for a video I'm doing with a friend about censorship and wrongfully banning of critics. Thank you. And in a message that Ugly Coyote shared with John Trent, he said, there were a lot of posts deleted on Star Wars Outlaws Reddit, and me and my friend replied to those posts, also voicing criticism about graphics, performance, and so on. So my friend then posted about censoring posts and was banned for posting non-related topic comments for I think 3 days or so. In that deleted post, many said their friends got banned also. I got banned when I questioned the age of a user and his beliefs by stating that he blindly believed propaganda and described the critical parts of the game like performance, hardware needs, uglification, and the main character, and so on. Also, I said he should be aware of false media hype like IGN. So according to Ugly Coyote, they were not disrespectful, and they were just questioning the game in a way where it was critical of the aspects that Ubisoft created Star Wars Outlaws, and it wasn't functioning the way it should have been. And because of that, He was banned. The situation mirrors actions taken from other Ubisoft-related forums. This is not the first instance. The Assassin's Creed subreddit, for example, had issued strict guidelines that effectively shut down any debate over historical accuracy in their game Assassin's Creed Shadows, particularly concerning the character Yasuke, depicted as a samurai. Moderators over there had made it clear that disputing historical depictions would not be tolerated, framing the game explicitly as historical fiction, meant for entertainment rather than educational accuracy, even though Ubisoft has contradicted themselves on that point already, saying that they were going for accuracy in feudal Japan and trying to make you feel like you're part of it, and then when they get called out and get found out that Yasuke was not a samurai, they just say, hey, it's fiction. It's fiction. Don't take it seriously, guys. Just play the game. Stop asking questions. We just want to squeeze some of this injection of DEI into a game, and you're really making it hard for us. The PlayStation 5 subreddit also is reportedly banning people for expressing disappointment over the lack of an Asian male main character in Assassin's Creed Shadows, because apparently you need to inject DEI in feudal Japan, and when people are questioning that and saying, hey, what you're doing isn't right, they're being straight up banned from the forums and being able to say anything about it. Kind of flies in the face of what these people supposedly stand for, but then again, we already know. And while sure, I love to hate on Ubisoft and their DEI injections as much as the next guy because they deserve it, it's unfortunately not limited to Ubisoft. This seems like a problem video game industry wide right now, with the bans and the censorship to ensure a narrative is kept. And thankfully, there still are YouTubers that are being able to bring this information to you guys to get the truth out there, because otherwise we would just be hearing one side of the story. I myself witnessed it happening just this morning in regards to a thread being locked about Soul Ash 2 because the mods were annoyed by any wrongthink that they deemed an influx of trolls. An influx of trolls, i.e., anyone that doesn't think the way we do has got to be a troll, so we're just going to lock the thread down because there's just too many people telling us that we're wrong. These instances of moderation raise a lot of questions about the balance between maintaining community decorum and suppressing critical discourse. Like, for instance, I was trying to find out more about what was going on with Soul Ash 2 and what the community was saying about how it was kind of turning around. The tide was turning and people were waking up to the cancel campaign to it, and going to that Reddit thread, the moderator just locked the thread and said, thread locked, as per the other one, due to influx of trolls. I think there's enough clear information out there now for people to make their minds up about the dev. So this mod just took it into their own hands to silence any more comments or criticisms or new information that comes up because he doesn't like how the tide was turning against his narrative. And that right there sums up exactly what's wrong with everything going on at Reddit today. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people out there that are like, yeah, it's Reddit. It's gone to hell over the past decade or so or more. Like, just don't even bother going over there. It's left-wing, crazy people that only want to hear their one side. And I get it. But the greater point being is, there is a forum and people are trying to have a conversation, share their thoughts, be critical of aspects of stuff. And if it flies in the face of what someone else believes, having a conversation about it moves it forward. Silencing them does not help it at all. So I don't know where Reddit goes from here, but where it is right now is not a good place, nor is it anywhere that I want to be anywhere close to unless it starts changing. I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. Again, shout out to John Trent and ThatParkPlace for bringing this information to me. It is crazy how bad it is. Like, I know Reddit is bad, but the moderation and silencing and banning of people for the minor things that are being said is just a little too ridiculous at this point. If you guys appreciate what I'm doing, please consider hitting that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
A lot of YouTubers flip-flop. Smash JT, great example. You know, there was a time where he was standing in front of a red wall with video game boxes behind him, and now he pukes about other people. He's a gossiper. He went from passion. Yeah, eye of the tiger, right? You change your passion for fucking glory. And that's just human nature. I mean, he didn't break any new fucking ground talking about that. I mean, people love a train wreck. People drive by car wrecks long before the internet, you know? Smash, change, smash.